Good morning, everyone. Andrew Kircher here from Port Huron Museums on another exceptionally bright day. It's November. Usually the days we start getting things to be a little cloudy and gloomy, but boy, I tell you what, it is as sunny as a day as you see in July. In fact, I had to step into the shade of a tree over here. So I just finished writing up a little bit of a post this morning, but I know some people watch the video, some people don't read our posts. It's always good to get this information up, but I couldn't resist. So I am obviously right here in front of our museum on this beautiful fall day, and I thought we'd take a walk over and take a look at the Huron Theater, the old Desmond Theater, because 100 years ago today, I'll flip things around, 100 years ago today was the groundbreaking for the Desmond Theater, which is pretty cool. It's always neat to observe a centennial like that. So I thought we would talk maybe just a little bit about that theater. There's been actually a fair amount of research done. I know Bob Davis has actually did a whole video series, I think last year, on all the different theaters here in town. But of all the theaters, today, I think there's three. I think you got, up in the mall, you've got the Craft 8, which I've always been a little partial to. That was my very first job. I worked at the Craft 8. And then slinging popcorn and, sweeping up popcorn. So if you can't tell, again, we started at the museum. The Federal Building's down there. And then Harrington's up this way. And then Sperry's, which is now kind of my go-to theater downtown. Sperry's has been, of course, turned into a movie house. I know a lot of folks watch from, maybe elsewhere in the country sometimes. Sperry's, if you get a chance and you're looking to see a movie, man, chef's kiss. That is a great place to take in a movie. But, 100 years ago, well, 100 years ago today, obviously you wouldn't be able to watch a movie. They were just doing a groundbreaking. But let's say 99 years ago today, if you were looking for a place to take in a picture, you would want to go see it right over here at the Desmond Theater. So hello to my Aunt Debbie who's watching. But the Desmond Theater was definitely one of these moving picture palaces. So movies in general, obviously there's another great Port Huron tie there, which number of people were experimenting with kind of the idea of moving pictures. Thomas Edison really made a lot of the breakthroughs for the movies, had a lot of the very early movie studios. We're talking back in late 1890s, around the turn of the 20th century. He makes a series of those technological breakthroughs, of course Thomas Edison being our own favorite son. But movies really take off in popularity by the 19-teens. Of course, they're silent pictures, so they're movies that would be typically shown at theaters in the conventional sense, where they would have plays. You set up a big screen and you're able to show those silent movie pictures. By the 19-teens and by the 1920s, they are building buildings specifically as a movie theater. And then, they can have live shows at it, but it's built first and foremost as a movie theater. And they are these luxurious places. So think about how much you watch TV, Netflix, you stream something, you're obviously watching something on either your computer or your phone, whatever, right now, right? You're hearing me talk, watching this. Imagine a world where the only time you're going to get to watch things is at a movie theater. They were incredibly popular. People went and saw a lot of movies, probably more so than we do today, because those other options are just not available. So these moving picture, they call them palaces because they were all exceptionally nice. They were competing with each other, so they were all heavily themed. This one was originally very much an Art Deco style. Now, we've said the Desmond Theater, and that's what I titled this, because this was built as the Desmond Theater, and that's what it was called until 1961. In 1961, the theater changed hands, and it became the Huron Theater, which obviously that is the marquee we still see up there today. And Leah's asking what's in there now. So from 1961 until 1990 was the Huron Theater, and then in 1990 the theater actually moved down to the mall. The theater that's in Birchwood Mall was here, And then by 1992, it's actually purchased by a gym. So it's actually a gymnastics and kind of like a dance area. The Huron Physical Arts Center. We'll actually be able to look at some of their trophies, maybe even take a peek in some of the windows over here. So what they did is they flattened out the floor because there was a huge space. This theater had a capacity of 1,200 people, which is, theaters have gone the exact opposite way. Many of the theaters at Sperry's today seat like 25. This could fit 1,200 people on, you know, there was a balcony, beautiful building, and we can actually see maybe some of it still inside. If I hold my shadow here over things, we can see the beautiful like mahogany doors. We can see where there was a ticket booth. Let's see if I can't shade things. Yeah, so we can see, you know, a ticket booth over here. Again, more doors into the theater over that way. And there's still some remnants of some of this kind of Art Deco styling, like right on the doors, you know, with the pilasters over here. Although in 1961, when they restyled as the Huron Theater, they actually decided the style they wanted to go with was a colonial style. So you see, we've got kind of this, it's like a colonial revival. We got this little, looks like the top of a pediment up here with these little kind of curls. Sometimes, I think originally there may have even been a little urn that stuck up in the middle that may have fallen off. Obviously, they don't like the marquee up there with all the light bulbs. A lot of them are missing, but you know, it's not a theater anymore. They added things like these kind of classically inspired lamp posts on the outside. So how they settled on colonial as the style for the theater is, I couldn't tell you. I mean, it's the 60s, they're approaching the bicentennial. That might be something that seems, you know, kind of cool, kind of appropriate. We can see another one of those kind of colonial styled sign for the movie posters out front that matches the marquee up there, which is pretty cool. And if we step back just a little ways, we can actually even see kind of the dome up top. It is like a domed theater building, which is pretty cool. If you look at that, obviously maybe could use a little bit of paint, but got that colonial style pillars. One of the other things that's kind of neat, while we're just standing right here and looking next door, this was originally like the St. Clair Savings Bank. They actually took off part of the name, so now it just says Savings Bank on the side. And unfortunately, I could dig through some pictures because I'm not sure if I have one, but there's the faint remnants of a ghost sign right up here, some advertising on the sign, that building painted in brick. I know it's a blink and you miss it kind of thing, so maybe somebody knows what it says. If you know what that sign originally said, let us know down in the comments. I'm not sure, I really can't read that one, what that was maybe originally an advertisement for. So let's walk around maybe the other side of the building. We can even glance at it from the back. Not that there's not much to see in the back, but we could talk a little bit more about some of the history of the building. Obviously, they do pretty well. This is a lot of first place trophies here for the dance team's 2017 champion. I think they may have like just reopened. I'm not sure. My sister did gymnastics, but she went to a place called Kaleidoscope that was in a few different buildings. So we walk over here, we're kind of in the parking lot of the side of the Harrington, where I know work has really unfortunately stalled out on. So there's not much going on over here, but we can really get a look at just the size of this building, even though there's nothing here. There was originally, actually, if you go back far enough to like the 1890s, there was like a mineral bath over on this side of the Harrington, kind of where this parking lot is now. But we can see just how big the theater building itself is. So we'll walk down some of these stairs, avoid breaking an ankle or anything. And yeah, we're out back, so we can see there are some of the massive air intake vents up at the top, which look pretty old, maybe all the way back to the 60s. I doubt they're 100 easily back to the 60s. So there was at one point in 1921, when this theater was built, there was one guy named H. Weil who owned 100% of the theaters in Port Huron. gathered himself a nice natural monopoly. Oh, Evan Kircher, my brother did gymnastics too. Well, Evan is my brother. He would remember doing that. I never did. I guess maybe he did. I don't remember a ton of that. And this may be where I think maybe a lot of the folks go. A lot of the folks park. See HPAC back entrance. There's you know, not much to say. It's a very perfunctory, giant, tall building. Lots and lots of brick back this way. You walk over to the side, you know, we can see the back of the Raven up this way, and over here Desmond Marine. So, you know, the name Desmond goes all the way back to the 1830s. Before this area was called Port Huron, there were a number of smaller plats. There was kind of the village of Peru. This area was the village of Desmond. So sometimes it's unclear, you know, if Desmond Marine is named for this area being Desmond. It could have been named for the theater that was the Desmond Theater. Why they changed names in 1961 is another thing I couldn't tell you. You know, it had been established for 40 years as the Desmond Theater. But far and away the most famous thing to happen. You can look up here. It's kind of neat. There's I don't know if you can see it or not. It's like 4 rather large pigeons up that way, watching down, surveying the city. Some new siding. Oh, they're turning their backs on us. The premiere of Young Tom Edison came out in 1940. It was one of the biggest hits of that year, and it starred Mickey Rooney, which I think a lot of people know maybe a little bit about this. But Mickey Rooney came here. They yeah, talk about another really old sign that's still here. This is the Asker Shane customer parking only. So this was a photo studio down this way, but soon no longer. Looks like maybe another ghost sign underneath those 2 windows. Again, that one's really well degraded. Couldn't tell you what that is. But got this kind of cool little concrete building, a little tiny window right here. That's something I've never really looked in. What's in that mystery little compartment? Hard saying. Some more little mystery doors down there. But yeah, Mickey Rooney came to town. So Young Tom Edison, obviously the story took place in Port Huron. The movie was not shot here, it was shot in California. But they premiered the movie here, and it was huge. It's really hard to grasp what a big deal the premiere of Young Tom Edison was when that happened. You know, Mickey Rooney came to town. They premiered it at all 3 theaters, but and Mickey Rooney stopped by all 3 theaters. The other theaters, like the Majestic and the Bijou Theater, it was $1 to go see the premiere. Here, it was $3. You knew this was the place you wanted to be. This was the nicest of all of the theaters in town. And it was nuts. You know, we're so used to seeing celebrities basically on a daily basis. They're always on like some talk show. They're always hawking something, some movie project, or they're you know, talking to Jimmy Fallon or some late night person. Back in the 1940s, you know, the only way you'd see these movie stars would be when you'd see them in a movie. So for one, to show up in real life, be right there in town in front of you, people went nuts. Tens of thousands of people showed up to see Mickey Rooney. We'll take maybe another step back and turn around here in just a second. So yeah, it's been a number of theaters. Todd says it was the late 70s when the theater was split into a couple of smaller theaters. Yeah, and like it's about 1990, they moved out to the mall, you know, where a lot of modern theaters go. Although I kind of doubt maybe they're doing all that well. The mall, I always, as a craft 8 worker, the mall was always kind of like our rival enemy theater. And I can tell you, maybe editorializing, but their popcorn was nowhere near as good as ours. So yeah, the Huron Theater, if you had been standing right here 100 years ago this morning, you could have been watching probably a groundbreaking somewhere out in the middle here, some ceremonial turning of the sod. One of the cool things they mentioned in the newspaper article is actually that they filmed it with a silent movie camera, and they said they were going to film parades, they were going to film a number of things to form this like archive of history in Port Huron. NS's Huron still gymnastics location? Yes, I believe so. HBAC, it looks like, I was looking at their Facebook page this morning, they're still posting some stuff. I think they were closed a little bit in 2020 and with COVID. So that's, yeah, definitely still a gymnastics place inside the Huron Physical HPAC, Huron Physical Arts Center. Anyway, so yeah, 100 years ago, you could have seen that groundbreaking to one of the coolest theaters in downtown Port Huron. So it's a beautiful day today. I think I'm going to be walking back here towards my office. I still have some stuff to do, but I probably should have done this earlier, so maybe I'll lose you. But don't go away, because I want to tell you guys just a little bit about some of the things that are coming up at the museum. We've got our telethon on the 30th of this month. It's Giving Tuesday. You know, we did this last year. I imagine many of you who are watching now maybe watched our telethon last year. It was a whole lot of fun. Really enjoyed it, really liked it. So we're doing that again. Should be a really nice treat for everyone to get to see that. And yeah, we've got a number of Christmas events coming up. I've put up quite a few trolley tours across the street here. A number of trolley tours, Christmas light themed ones that are going to be going on late November and into December. Of course, our candlelight tours with the Lighthouse. You can get your tickets for those today. Lighthouse is going to be all decorated. You know, we're already thinking Christmas. I know it's not Thanksgiving yet, but we're already thinking about it. So those should be fun. And I'll tell you, the trolley tickets sell out really fast. So if you're interested in one of those, take a look. They're right on our Facebook page. You can get those tickets today. And like I said, the telethon is the big thing that I'm doing a lot of work with right now. We're getting ready. We're having a beard growing contest. So the beard king of Port Huron. We're excited to get to crown that. And a number of talents. Some are returning. Some are going to be brand new. So definitely something you're going to want to tune in. Tuesday, November 30th from 12 to 8. And that is kind of what's shaken in the Port Huron Museums world. Of course, we are open with Discovery City. Still going like gangbusters. So if you're interested in that, I think that's going to be really popular this winter as things are, you know, kind of cold outside or getting that way. It's always a nice day at Discovery City. So anyway, that is, I think, just about everything I got for you today. It is a beautiful sunny day out. I've got not to put kind of a sweater on. It's a little chilly, but you know, it is nice, bright and sunny. The colors are finally here. I feel like they should have been here a month ago. But if you get a chance to, you know, sneak out on your lunch break, or maybe if you're retired, don't have to work today, it's a great day to go for a walk and look around and check out the history here in your own backyard. So thanks for tuning in. Tell your friends and neighbors. We always appreciate it anytime you comment or share this with your friends. It's a new way to get kind of the word out there, show everybody how cool you are for liking local history. So go ahead and do that. And we'll talk to you next week. I've got another couple fun live videos lined up and another kind of secret film project we're working on that we are excited to show you in a few days' time. So until next time, enjoy the history here in your own backyard. Take care.